Hey, thanks for dropping in. I'm Jake, and this is the first devlog for the game that I'm working on called the Gates of Neptune. I've been working on the Gates of Neptune now since December 2023. So I'm about 16, 17 months in development as far as the project goes. It's a game that I've been developing for a while now inside of the Unity game engine. So it's been a passion project doing outside of my day job. It's been a lot of fun. If you haven't seen anything about the game at this point, the Gates of Neptune is about a little submarine. You are deployed down onto a planet after a meteor storm, so around 100 years or so into the future. A team of scientists is studying planet Earth. So the inhabitants of the Earth have, for the most part, left, and so it's sparsely populated. But a team of scientists are going through and doing checkups basically on how Earth is doing. And a meteor shower hits. Crew ends up having to eject off of the research vessel, crashes to Earth. And so you basically are sent on a deployment mission to go through and retrieve the escape pod. So you're in a little submarine. You get deployed down on Earth, and you are just kind of traversing the seas, trying to find where this escape pod is. As you start getting closer to its signal, you start discovering some pretty interesting looking ancient ruins, and that leads you down a path to working your way through dungeons, fighting big fishy bosses, to hopefully get one step closer to unlocking the secrets of what happened to Atlantis. Thus far in the game, we have kind of the main area that you crash land down into, and exploring more of an open waters sort of area. In there, that's where you come upon things like wreckage, regular sea creatures, things like that. And then working on the first dungeon, again, doing everything on your own takes a little while. So I'm hoping that the production process kicks up a little bit now that the vast majority of the art assets are done. So hopefully that'll make the production process just a bit faster. Than it's more programming oriented rather than kind of swapping back and forth between, okay, I need to make a new enemy and now I have to animate it and program it, as opposed to dropping a variety of different reusable objects in, and just kind of littering the landscape with them. Yeah, so the player, it's currently designed for PC players, so mouse and keyboard. However, I am working on support in there for controllers if you want to do like Xbox controller. I have no idea if I would go through later on and take it to other consoles. It would be really cool too, but we'll kind of see how things go with the production of it. Yeah, so as far as just giving an overall encompassment as far as where everything is right now, you play as a little submarine. There's not really a character per se inside of the submarine that I'm trying to convey. However, there is a crew member that's on an orbiting ship that is helping you along. So he's normally his name's Miller, but he's normally just guiding you, giving you feedback on what you're encountering, giving you some small ideas along the way. And so that's kind of his role. Is he's the companion buddy, but again, he's orbiting the planet, so he's not readily available, right next to you. let's see, at this point, again, just going over all the big stuff. Controls are working for the submarine. There is the ability to fire torpedoes. I just added a secondary in, just because if you run out of torpedoes, then what do you do? And, smashing crates and stuff for ammo by using your ammo is a little counterintuitive. So I added a secondary, basically charge the canister lights that sit on the front of the submarine and shoot out a little ball of sparks. Basically, the torpedoes do a whole heck of a lot more damage, but in case you happen to run out, you have this secondary that has a short range to it and a longer refresh time, but you're never dead in the water completely. That was a problem I was running into, was trying to figure out what the balance was of the player having torpedoes and running out on them. Just trying to balance making sure ammo is more readily available, but then also if you do happen to run out, are there objects that you can smash nearby with a secondary. I've been refining how the damage system works on the enemies. Currently, I have a couple of different enemies. There's sea urchins, there's giant snails, there's sandworms, and there's orb sentries. I think those are everything. Oh, and there's sharks. But those are all the enemies I currently have in. I had to reformat how I was doing the damage system for them by adding a secondary in, because only having one weapon beforehand with the torpedo is very predictable, that I could make every torpedo do 1 damage. But now having the secondary, I want to make it, and again, short range, weaker. It's not the ideal weapon. Certainly you can use it, but it's not the most ideal. So I had to go through and tweak the damage system so that when an enemy's hit by the little spark, it's doing 1 damage. If they're being hit by the torpedo, it's doing 5 damage, or 4. I forget where I landed. But anyway, just having it so it's importing what that data is for the damage amount and making sure it's applied to the enemy. Yeah, I plan on having 3 bosses and then a final boss. So in the game, you're going to end up traversing ruins as well as the open waters, just trying to piece these clues together as far as, 1, where the escape pod is, and then ultimately leading to, where is Atlantis? Have we finally found it? Atlantis myths have been around a long, long time. It's such an interesting concept, especially when you start getting into the nuts and bolts of, where the theories are on where it is, or just its origin. If you never looked into the origin of Atlantis, it's fascinating. The ancient philosopher Plato was the one that originally came up with it. So he had 2 books that he talked about it, the Timaeus and the Critias. So if you're really interested and you're like, ooh, Atlantean myths, that's interesting. I mean, go pick those up. They're not, they're kind of a dense read. But if you want to see about where like the origin of the idea came from, I mean, do it. It's cool. So, but yeah, this is kind of where things are sitting right now. There's a variety of different things I want to get at. Redoing the user interface. Things have been moving along pretty steadily here more recently, especially in light of just getting most of those art assets developed. Makes it so that doing level design is much faster. Thanks for stopping in and checking out the devlog. Really appreciate it. Doing solo dev is, pretty challenging. Takes up a good chunk of time, but it's certainly, a lot of fun being able to get into all different kinds of things, modeling versus particle systems versus programming. It ends up being just a good time. So thanks for stopping by and checking this out. I really appreciate it, and we'll see where the next progression steps are here for the Gates of Neptune. You can wishlist it on Steam if you like. Thanks.